Welcome back. Today we're going to start Chapter 4, Section 1, Rate of Change and Slope. So before we get started, we need to define a few things. So the first thing is rate of change. A rate of change is just a ratio that describes how much one quantity changes with respect to a change in another quantity. So rate of change can be applied to many things. So in this current example, we have time walking versus distance walked. So the more time we spent walking, the more distance we walk. So for every second we walk, notice it's increasing by 1. Every 1 second we go 4 feet. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, rate of change. So 4 feet per second, because the y is on top and the x is on the bottom, and that middle bar really implies the word per. All right, so distance walked per time walking. All right, so let's apply this. Let's look at this. So use the table to find the rate of change. Explain the meaning of the rate of change. So notice the x's are going up +2 every time. So in our previous one, it said the change of y over the change of x. So we're going to have 2 on the bottom, and then on top, we can see it is increasing +78. All right, and it does that again. So we actually have, if we look at the labels now, it's money per computer games. So $78 per 2 games. And this is just a fraction. So really what it's saying is, when we simplify it, it is $39 per game. And that's what the rate of change is. And that's what it means. All right. So now let's move on to slope. Slope is the ratio of the change in the y coordinates, the rise up and down, because the y coordinates go up and down, to the change in the x coordinates, the run, because x goes left and right on our x-axis. So let's look at it. This is how we think of it. The slope of the line is the ratio of the rise to the run. So rise over run, always. Rise over run. Okay, always rise over run. So notice the two labels. We have the x's and we have the y's. This is key. Y's are always on top, x's are always on the bottom. And notice, once again, y2 and x2 are lined up, and x1 and y1 are lined up. Okay, do not invert one of those, because your answer will be incorrect. Okay, it does not matter which one is x1 or x2, but it does matter as long as you keep them together. Okay, so we have multiple classifications of a line, the slope. The slope can be positive, negative, 0, or undefined. We'll go through that here in a bit. So let's practice our slope formula. So m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to say the first one is x sub 2. So that makes y sub 2, and this is x1. This would be y1. So now I'm just going to replace y sub 2, 2 minus 4 over negative 1 minus 3. Notice the 2 and the negative 1 are lined up, and the 4 and the 3 are lined up. So now I simplify negative 2 over negative 4. We simplify and we get 1/2. So our slope of the line is 1/2. Let's do another one. Negative 1, negative 2, and negative 4, negative 1. So same thing. I'm just going to leave the first one as my x2 and y2. So negative 2 minus 1 over negative 1 minus a negative 4. The double negative there. So I need to add the opposite on the bottom. So now I end up with negative 3 over positive 3, which gives me a negative 1. So my slope is -1. Now notice again, first I had a positive answer, then I had a negative answer. Let's see where we go. The next one, the slope of a line passes through 1, 2, and -1, 2. So I'm going to keep with the theme that the first number, the first coordinate is the x2, y2. So I have 2 minus 2 divided by 1 minus -1. Once again, I got a double negative on the bottom. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. Well, 0 divided by a number is just 0. So I have a slope of 0. Okay, and one more. The slope of the line that passes through 1, -2, and 1, 3. So we have -2 minus 3 over 1 minus 1. So up top, I got -5 divided by 0. Well, I cannot divide by 0, so that would be impossible. This is what we call undefined. So there's an undefined slope. Now, what does that mean? Well, when we think about it, we just got the 4 different types. This is what it means. The positive slope means a line runs up from left to right. The negative slope runs down from left to right. A slope of 0 would give us a completely horizontal line. It does not go up or down. An undefined slope means it's a completely vertical line. It means it doesn't shift left to right. It's just straight up and down. Okay? So, next one. Find the value of r so that the line through r6 and 10, -3 has a slope of -3/2. So really, they're already telling us what the slope is. So if we look at m equals x2, oh, I put that wrong, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So all I'm going to do is replace. Well, I know the slope. The slope is -3. So I actually have -3/2 equals, now I'm looking for y2, so I get 6 minus -3 over r minus 10. So we can do a little simplifying. Here we get 9. And now I actually have a proportion, something we've worked on in the past. We can cross multiply. So we get, so let's do some cross multiplication. I got right there. And then I got, let's go green for right here. So I get 18 equals, now I got to distribute in purple, -3r plus 30. So now I'm just at a game of algebra. So subtract 30 from both sides. Well, that looks like a 6. There we go. So I get -12 equals -3r. Divide by -3. And I get r is equal to a +4. So really, all I did in this problem was give you the slope, and you had to find the missing coordinate. So it's kind of the same thing, it's the same thing you've done in the past. It's just with slope thrown in there.